I am Sara Mahmood, and the topic for today's discussion is romance as a medieval form of literature. Let's first discuss the genre that is romance. Romance is a narrative genre in literature that involves an adventurous, mysterious, or spiritual storyline where the focus is on a quest that involves bravery and strong values, not always a love interest. Its origin is from Anglo-Norman and Old French Romance. The word romance also refers to romantic love, but as far as literature is concerned, the term has an entirely different concept. In literature, it means the stories of legends of duty, courage, boldness, and battles and adventures. Okay, so now some students get confused with the term romance and romanticism. Remember this thing that these both are two different terms. Romance is a particular genre of literature and is a type of fiction, while romanticism is a specific movement and period in English literature during which poems, stories, and novels related to romantic ideas were created. Wordsworth, P.B. Shelley, and John Keats are some of the most famous poets of the Romantic period. However, romances have been written since classical English period. Okay, so now let's discuss the medieval period or Middle Ages. These both terms are used to refer to the same period of time, that is between the 5th and 15th centuries. The only difference is that the word middle is a noun while the word medieval is an adjective which we can use to give reference of anything related to Middle Ages. For example, medieval literature, medieval pictures, etc. Middle Ages are also known as Dark Ages because of a supposed lack of scientific and cultural advancement. There was plague, there was a great famine, there was no education as well, and another reason is that the lack of records. Most of the history of the Middle Ages is still unknown. Okay, now let's move ahead to our main topic that is medieval romance. Medieval romance, a literary genre comprised of fictional works of chivalry and adventure from the Middle Ages. Works of medieval romance literature were widely popular between the 5th and 16th centuries. There are examples of this genre composed in prose as well as in verses. The most popular form of literature during the Middle English period was the romances. No literary productions of the Middle Ages are so characteristic, none so perennially attractive as those that treat romantically of heroes and heroines of bygone days. These romances are notable for their stories rather than their poetry, and they, like the drama afterwards, furnished the chief mental recreation of time for the great body of the people. These romances were mostly borrowed from Latin and French sources. Characteristics of medieval romances are ideals of chivalry, hero with noble deeds, imaginary setting, supernatural elements, disguised identity, a quest, and style. Okay, so look at the first one, that is ideals of chivalry. Medieval romance is about the adventures of knights and the institution of chivalry. Romances are concerned with the adventures and stories of kings, queens, and knights, not with the common, ordinary people. Hero with noble deeds. Hero or heroine is braver, nobler, and more honorable than an ordinary human. Imaginary setting. Medieval romances does not take place in realistic setting, but in idealized worlds, an imaginary castle, gardens, and forests, etc. Fourth, we have supernatural elements. It contains mysterious, magical, and supernatural elements. Often, the hero or heroine has the use of magic of the extraordinary powers. Disguised identity. Hero or heroine will often put on a disguise to conceal or hide his or her true identity. A quest. The hero must prove his worth by quest or journey, motivated by love, faith, or adventure. Last, we have style. The style used for writing the romances were the use of extremely exaggerated language and use of hyperbole and different figure of speeches to elevate the language. Functions of romances. During the Middle Ages, romance was synonymous with the aristocratic literature. It was because romance was used to teach morals through the combination of stories of adventures, courtly love, and dedication. It was used to teach rules of behavior, bravery, courage, gentlemanliness, and life in general. In addition, the principal function of romance was to maintain order in society by presenting source for entertainment. Examples of the romances are King Arthur, The War of Troy, Alexander the Great. That was all about this video lecture. We will be meeting soon in the next video lecture. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Good day.